Not sure if anyone saw this. I read an article in the newspaper recently. In it, the rapper in the article, Wiz Khalifa, he said that if you eat a banana whole, like rather than snapping it into pieces, it's a sign that you're gay. Fucking lucky I read that, right, ladies and gentlemen? Lucky I read that, because, myself, like an idiot, my whole life, kind of always thought it was if you ate a dick hole. Yeah. And I'm not gay, right? I'm not gay, and I hate to offend anyone or send the wrong message. So now I do make sure I snap it into pieces when I suck dick. Yes. It's only right. Yes, I've been in Adelaide for 2 years. I love it. I love how chilled out, so relaxed Adelaide. Adelaide, you guys are so chilled out. I'm surprised your smoke alarms don't actually come with a snooze function. Just take the election, right? Most elections around the world, expensive, multimedia, big advertising campaigns. You guys are like, fuck it, just put some posters on the Stobie poles. And when you're driving along, watching them all, doesn't that just feel like you're playing the world's shittest game of Guess Who? The only fake news in Adelaide elections, like a teenager with a Sharpie drawing a moustache or a dick on the posters, that's it. The election has got me down. If I'm honest with you, it's got me down. What I don't like about politics, right, is the way they try and use fear to control us. I really am disappointed in that. Like, good example of that recently, the Medivac bill. And Scott Morrison and Peter Dutton came out at the time and they said, these refugees arriving by boats, they could have criminal records. We don't know, they could have criminal records. I just thought, how short-minded are you? Like 200 years ago to arrive here by boat, you had to have a criminal record. These adults are like, people that have forgotten that they were ever babies, like their memories are that short. But in Peter Dutton's case, I get that, because there is anything uglier in the world than Peter Dutton as a baby. The answer to that question obviously being Peter Dutton as an adult. And I think when Peter Dutton was born, right, like his mum would have been in the birthing room and she would have been like, "Doctor, what is it? Like, is it a boy or a girl?" And he would have been like, "Oh, it's an immigration minister." Yeah. And, she would have been in the bath playing with him as a baby and she would have been like, "Rubber ducky, Peter, little rubber ducky, little tugboat." And he would have been like, "Mummy, stop the boats! Stop the boats." Maybe he's not xenophobic. Maybe he just hates boats. Fucking who knows? Yes. These white men, ladies and gentlemen, they've led us to a bad place. I'm one of them, obviously. I'm one of them. I'm trying to be better, though, right? In everything I do in my life, I'm trying to be better. I'm sure a lot of you guys have, like, handyman husbands or dads or uncles, men that can fix shit around their house. And I'm trying to be better at that, Like, if something breaks in my house now, I'll give it a really good shot to fix it. And by fix it, what I obviously mean is break it differently. Yes. And take cleaning, right? Like, I'm shit at cleaning. Obviously, like, historical roles, women and men, like, women are better at cleaning, men are shit. So I feel really proud if I'll even make a good effort, Like, my partner will be out, come home, and I'll be like, "Fuck, I've done the dishes and the washing, She'll be like, "Do you want a medal, dickhead? Like, I've done all that, plus 5 things in the past week, Like the way I treat housework's like one of those old government superannuation schemes where you put in $1 and magically, like, 2 have appeared from somewhere. And just imagine men did get, like, medals for doing housework, right? You just know most men would expect their wives to clean them as well. Wouldn't they? The way I know I'll be getting better at housework, the day I know I'll be getting better at it, right, is when I'm doing the washing and I actually know what the fuck to put in the delicates bag. Like, so far I think I'm like most men. The only thing I know for sure that goes in their delicates bag is my ego. That's it. Because systems are different, right? Like, let's just use the example. Just imagine, right, that men got their periods instead of women, how differently that would play out, right? I think a guy would wake up, his back would be killing him. He'd crawl to the kitchen and grab his hot water bottle. And it'd be like a West End Draft hot water bottle he won at the pub last week, right? Or it'd be like a Holden hot water bottle his son gave him for Father's Day. And on it, instead of saying something heaps dumb like "go hard" or "go home," it'd say "flow hard, stay home." And he'd ring up his boss, he'd be like, mate, fucking no chance I'm coming in. My back's killing me. My stomach is bloated as shit. I can't get there. His boss would be like, what do you mean you're not coming in? Like, of course you're not coming in. You are bleeding. Be like, buddy, take a couple of days of your period leave. I'll see you next week, mate. You know, obviously period leave would have been legislated like hundreds of years ago, right? Because I reckon the whole experience would like transform into a really masculine one, right? We'd have these rituals in our society to signify that. See, in that Jewish holiday, the bar mitzvah, like we'd have a boganized version of that, your Barbie mitzvah. And the invite, you'd get it and it'd be like, bring along some snags because me lad's got his rags. Fucking, there you go. And it permeated into our mythology as well, wouldn't it? We have these men that like build up as heroes because they've survived their period so well. Be a special section in the paper devoted to these guys, you know, the periodicals. And this guy would sit there and he'd read it and it'd say, in the latest story of heroism and courage from a man, it's been revealed that in last year's AFL Grand Final, Dustin Martin played with his period. I did that bit recently at a gig, right? And an old guy came up to me after the show to give me his opinion, because of course he did. And he was like, mate, let me tell you about that period bit you did. That period bit, that is not true. And I just thought, this is a man in touch with his body. And he said, do you know how I know it's not true? Do you know how I know it's true? Not true? I said, how do you know, mate? He said, well, Dustin Martin didn't play in last year's grand final. Fucking there you go. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been James Gray.